All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be very honest with you. If you played a lot of the players from the first game, Miami and New York, even though your gut told you not to, and you still did it anyway because some of those guys were cheap, guess what? Your night's over. So you don't even gotta wait up for the Lakers game. Might as well go turn on the Netflix, go catch a movie, go out to dinner, go bowling, top golfing, whatever it is you do on a Saturday night. Feel free. There's no more DFS for you tonight. I had a feeling that this game was going to be like honey coming out of a jar, and this was not a good DFS atmosphere. Not only you have two low scoring teams, but it's early in the day on a Saturday. What the fuck you think these guys were doing last night in Miami on a Friday night? You tell me. The New York Knicks came out like they forgot they had a game. They came out like they forgot how to play basketball. And Julius Randle is not a star. Julius Randle is Julius Randle is an embarrassment. That's all I got to say about that. Let's get into this Sunday slate. We're going to start with DraftKings. We're going to start with a guy that's not an embarrassment, Mr. Booker. 10K, too cheap. Phoenix knows what they have to do in order to win. What does this have to do with DFS? You got to have a game script in mind. You got to say to yourself how you think this game is going to go. I've been telling you, I tell you these things every slate, every video. If you could put in your head how you think the game is going to go and play the players that's going to be part of that, that's going to execute it, you're going to win. Like last night or the other night, if you played Booker, found a way to get Booker and Durant in one lineup, you know what I'm saying? Booker has to go crazy for Phoenix to have a chance. You should be always playing Booker. Fire him up. Harden, sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he's aggressive, sometimes he's passive. Listen, my bankroll don't have time to figure out which Harden is going to show up. For me, he's a fade. Embiid is on the court. It's not going to kill you. Jamal Murray's too cheap. DraftKings with this disrespectful pricing once again. Fire up Murray. Maxey, you know how I feel about Maxey. Overhyped. Just he's an average player. He's a touch better than average. He's been doing nothing. Can't hit a shot. Last few games, 29, 23. He had 39. He took 24 shots. 30 against Brooklyn. Fuck Brooklyn. We're talking about Boston now. Last two games, 23 and 29 fantasy points. 6 for 14, 4 for 16. Listen, Maxey is very what's that word I'm looking for? He's very what's that fucking word I'm looking for? Tyrese Maxey is streaky. So you could play him, he could give you a good game, or he could give you a down game. But more often than not, he's gonna have a bad shooter night and give you a bad game. And he's not gonna impact the game any other way if Harden is on the floor. Keep that in mind. Brogdon's been playing absolutely well. This is what they brought him for. They brought him for the playoffs. They're playing him a lot of minutes because this is what they brought him for. 5,200. Fire him up. Looks better without Smart. Smart is too cheap also. Fire him up. I've been pushing back against Payne all playoffs. He finally got to start. 18 fantasy points in 30 minutes. I rest my case. Derek White, too cheap. Was a little bit of a slump, but you know that's why they call it a slump because you get out of it. Derek White's been playing better. Now I wouldn't really play all three in one lineup as far as the three amigos, Brogdon, Smart, and White, but because of the way because of the way the slate is constructed and it only being two games, it's fine. I think one of my contests with I had two out of the three. I think it hit. Yeah, I only played two out of three. I never played all three. But if he played all three for value, Uh, you can still cash depending on the size of your contest. Um, Bruce Brown, 44.6, fire him up. Shamit, oh man, Mr. Shamit. Mr. Shamit, 25 minutes, 6 fantasy points. Landry Shamit is trash. You got to understand that we're in a part of this NBA era where guys that used to be decent aren't good anymore. And we gotta it's our job to pinpoint who's who and what's what. You know, what did Fat Joe say? Fat Joe always says, what the fuck does he say? Today's price or yesterday's price isn't today's price, right? And what these guys used to do, they're not doing anymore. Shamit, Payne, a few others. Everything in life is about evolution, and we can't be playing players because of what they used to do. We got to play the players that are um, effective now. You feel me? So stop playing players off of their legacy and play players that are contributing now because it's costing you money. I wouldn't touch Shamit. I wouldn't touch Shamit with a 40-foot pole. All right, the rest of these guys are unplayable. If you're thinking about playing that, the rest of these guys under Shamit, I get Shamit, I get the idea, but you playing anything under Shamit, you deserve to lose. Jaylen Brown's amazing. He's too cheap for his upside. 8.1K, fire him up. DeAnthony Melton, he had a good game. I wouldn't chase that. Cause when Embiid is on the court, the rest of his teammates don't really get usage like that. 4 for 10, he hit 4 out of 7 shots. He had 8 rebounds, 4 steals. Pay attention to that. He was a great play, but if you chase that and he gives you 6 fantasy points, I don't want to see you crying on Twitter. You feel me? He is good value, dude. Just understand what you're in for. Caldwell Pope, streaky also. You could take a shot on him. Damian Lee, how many minutes did he have last game? 26 minutes, 10 fantasy points. He's not a good fantasy producer. You want to take a shot on him at 3,600? I don't mind. Depending, your lineup better be fire though if you're playing Damian Lee. You feel me? Christian Braun, if you want to play last man in, take a shot. Terrence Ross, I'm not touching. I don't know how many minutes he's gonna get. Durant, it's a must play. Fire him up. Tatum is a must play. Fire him up. Tobias Harris, 5,800. He should be 4,800 playing next to Joel Embiid. Can't pay that money for him because he's another guy. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. You feel me? 25 minutes, 14 fantasy points. What that means is if you played Tobias Harris last night, you lost. Michael Porter Jr., you could take a shot. Grant Williams, you could take a shot. Okogie, no. You want to see Okogie's fantasy points last few games? 3, 3, 7. So if you think it's a good idea to fire up Josh Okogie, you know what? I'm not playing with y'all today. If you feel like you want to play Josh Okogie, open up your kitchen window, right? And jump right out that motherfucker because I don't know what the fuck is on your mind. All right, who else is here? Power forward. Let's go to power forward. Aaron Gordon is a fine play. He's a little bit expensive for what Jokic and Murray are about to do, but you got to play somebody, right? Al Horford too cheap. Fire him up. PJ Tucker. You want to play PJ Tucker? Listen, you better go to church and say a long prayer and hope that he could pay that off because PJ Tucker is PJ Tucker. The rest of these guys are useless. You can't play them. If you want to play Torrey Craig, you lose. If you want to play TJ Warren, you probably lose. If you want to play Gorgie Yang, you need him to hit every shot he takes. 26 minutes, 14 fantasy points. At 3K, it won't kill you, but I'm sure you can find better ways to use your slots. You feel me? All right, who's next? Okay, let's go to center. Jokic, 10-9, fire him up. Well, I don't got to tell you to play Jokic. Embiid, 9.8K, you need to play him. Fire him up. Ayton shouldn't start. Ayton is another Julius Randle student. These guys are 2 peas in a pod. Big for nothing. a bunch of goofballs, a bunch of fucking ostrich turds. Like, what are you there for? You feel me? They should sit his ass. They should bench his ass and play someone else. Um, I play Bismack Bayambo before I play Aiden. Big for nothing. This guy thinks he's Patrick Ewing. You got a wide open dunk, your finger rolling. Who the fuck do you think? Yo, what is happening right now? This guy's pissing me off. Who's next? Bobby Williams. Bobby Williams hasn't really dropped any fantasy points to make us, to make us like shiver me timbers, but he's just there. I haven't been playing him because he's useless. Somebody tell me what 18 fantasy points is gonna do for me. 4.3K, 16 minutes, 18 fan. Good. Wait, didn't he get hurt? Is he hurt? No, he's not hurt. I'm not playing him anyway, but for those of you that want to play Bobby Williams, 22 minutes, 22 listen, he's a point per minute guy. We all know that, but he's not getting the minutes because he's just not that dude anymore. He probably peaked last year. Oh well, they need to trade his ass too. Big for nothing. Another big goofy guy. Goofball. Get this guy out of here. Paul Reed, you want to play Paul Reed when Embiid is healthy? He's gonna play like 8 minutes, something to that effect. What you got here? 9 minutes. Look at that. One fantasy point. You play him, you lose. Listen, the point I'm trying to make. This is the playoffs, right? Round 2, right? Everybody's competing for a championship, right? Make your lineups make sense and play players. I say this shit like every two times a video. Play players that are gonna get minutes and that's gonna have an opportunity to produce fantasy points. That's all you're doing. If you're trying to play Ish Wainwright, and if you're down here trying to play fucking Najee Marshall and fucking Montrezl Harrell and fucking Paul Bunyan and all these other stupid motherfuckers, with that mentality, you've already lost. Put yourself in a position to win. That's all. Listen, I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to fucking, pamper you. I'm here to help you win DFS. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? So don't get upset. You know what I'm saying? Just subscribe, hit the bell, and thumbs up. That's all you could do. I'm trying to help you. All right. Where are we? If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you taking the time to watch my lovely video on a nice, warm, sunny Saturday afternoon where the Knicks just shit the bed. What else? If you're struggling to cash, I can help you. I can send you my lineups. Check out the Patreon, which is linked in the description. We could go to FanDuel. We could look at the salaries over there. Play pool remains the same. Nothing changes. Jamal Murray, priced appropriately. Harden, he's okay for his upside. Tyrese Maxey, even though I don't like him, he's okay for his upside. Marcus Smart, kind of pricey. Well, not really, because he does get blocks and steals, and on FanDuel, that's amazing. Marcus Smart is priced appropriately, and if he's healthy, you should be firing him up. Brogdon, Derek White, all priced appropriately. I'll do everything in my power not to play campaign at 4.8K. That's just me. Booker priced appropriately. Jaylen Brown too cheap. Bruce Brown is fine. Caldwell Pope is fine. The rest of these guys not playing. Tatum priced appropriately. Durant, Porter, Tobias is a little bit spicy for his pricey. You can't play these guys. You can't play them. The rest, those bottom guys, you can't play them unless you have a whole bunch of studs and you're taking a shot. But you better hope that your stud goes off, because if he doesn't, guess what? Early night. What else we got here? Al Horford. I like him because of his blocks and steals that he could get on FanDuel. Aaron Gordon is going to be popular, and I'm playing him. 5.6K Aaron Gordon on this slate? Nah, I'm firing him up. Grant Williams is fine for what he is. PJ Tucker's fine. McDaniels, you could take a shot, but that's risky business. Gorgie Nang, risky business once again. And at center, what we got here? Jokic is Jokic. He's priced up, but he could give you 80 fantasy points. And Embiid 11.2. People are gonna pay up for him because they don't want to pay up for Jokic. Ayton is unplayable unless you hear something, unless we get news that he apologized for his childish behavior. I don't know what to call it. Like the whole lot. He should have never went back. That's his problem. He thought they loved him. They don't love you, you big goofball. All right, who's next? I can't play Ayton with everything that I'm seeing. Bobby Williams at 5.3K. You need him to pay that off in 20 minutes. Londell probably gonna get a bunch of minutes now, but you see what they be doing. You're gonna go and play Londell to be sneaky, then they're gonna play Biyombo. Yo, that's fucked up. I'm staying away from all. I'm staying away from all the Sun centers. The only people I'm touching on the Suns: Durant, Booker, Durant, Booker, Durant, Booker, Durant, Booker. Well, there's your answer. Durant and Booker are the only two people I'm playing from the Suns. It's a disgusting slate. Be very smart with your value. Don't be cute. Play the players that are gonna get minutes. Play the players that are gonna give themselves an opportunity to create fantasy points, and I promise you're gonna cash. A lot of these contests, it's not that my lineups be spectacular. People be beating themselves by playing bullshit. That's all it is. But listen, I took up enough of your time. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that good stuff. We definitely on the way to getting this channel to 1,000 subscribers, and that's the goal. Well, that's not the goal, but that's a very important landmark we're trying to get to. So let's get there, please. Thank you. Check out the Patreon link in the description if you're tired of all this NBA bullshit and you want me to build lineups for you, or you want my lineups, no problem. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna go in and get out of here, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the next one. Talk to you later. Ciao.